welcome back to the podcast. I'm Alice Lema. I'm a principal broker at Home and Land Real Estate. And this week we want to talk about how 46% of Southern Oregon sellers are still having to cut their prices, but many of them still have a ton of equity that they're sitting on. So this is an interesting moment in time where we are out of our downturn, which was 18 to 36 months, depending on your neck of the woods. So that is behind us, but it's fresh, it's recent. The correction that we're in is brand new, brand new. But we're kind of done with the prices actually going down. And this is different from the sellers who price their houses too high, having to bring their prices down into reality. So there's a difference between the actual market prices going down and the sellers just overshooting. Okay, so has everybody got that? Because what we're talking about is 46% of the sellers are still overshooting the prices that are reasonable for this market in their neighborhood. And I want to show you this this graph that we made by county. So we're looking at 4 Southern Oregon counties, and 47% of the listings had price cuts in Jackson County. 49% of Josephine County listings are still doing price cuts. 48% of Douglas County and 40% of Klamath County are all still cutting prices right now. And the reason this is significant is because the downturn is behind us. Okay, we're in this flat correction now, looking into 2026. But in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of the data sources that we track, we're not going down anymore. And quite frankly, a lot of people, especially if they purchased their house or their property in 2019 or before, Southern Oregonians have a lot of equity. They really do. So when we buy property and hang on to it, Southern Oregon typically does go up, but we had this big spike during COVID. So if you bought your house before 2019, and I want to show you this other chart from Freddie Mac, nationally, homeowners that purchased their property before 2019 or in 2019, they have $100,000 in equity or more. And so that's pretty good income for just a handful of years. And you probably were just living in your house and enjoying it. So this is quite noteworthy. And then you circle back to these sellers that are overshooting the market prices and they're just fishing for the right price. So this creates opportunity and dilemma at the same time. So I want to address the buyers first. So my advice to buyers is keep writing those offers, but now because the downturn, the active downturn is behind us, and even though it's freshly behind us, buyers, you need a slightly different strategy. And I'm advising that you have more than one home that meets your needs. So have 3 of them ideally, and keep writing offers on the listings that you like, but have other properties that you can go to if it doesn't work out. And you need to be a little bit more flexible than you did even 90 days ago, buyers, because, and here I warn you again, these market conditions will not last forever. Okay, so buyers, get the house that you want, get the house that you need, lock it in, get it done, move in, and then you can sit back and enjoy the slow and low growth that we're going to experience. But that has to do with the lack of inflation or the lower inflation. We don't want to argue that here, but it's low and slow, but it is growth. And even 1.5% increase in your equity to 3% on an annual basis, that's still money in your equity pocket. Okay, so now sellers, my advice to you is be realistic about the price point and the market conditions. So if you're one of those people that purchased your property before 2019, then you have plenty of wiggle room, and you don't have to advertise that. You don't have to give your property away, but be realistic about what your neighborhood is bringing right now, and be realistic about what goodies you have to include to get the deal done. Now, this has a lot to do with sellers, where you're going next and what your motivation is. If you're just speculatively selling, right? If you just have your house on the market because you want to see what you can get, well, maybe now you know, especially if it's been more than 30 days. And if you don't really need to be selling right now, then why go through? It's kind of hard to be a seller. It really is the showings and keeping it clean. Even if you're a clean freak, it's just more stress. You have appointments and blah 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 blah. So if you really have a good reason to move right now because you can get a really good deal on your replacement property, that is a fabulous reason. If you're buying investment property, that is a fabulous reason. If your job got relocated, if you're downsizing, there's a lot of reasons that are good life motivators to sell a property, and you can do a really good job on the buying side in this market. But if you are just being a speculative seller, which we've had a lot of that in the past, when the markets go up by an incredible amount, especially in a short period of time, which does happen to Southern Oregon. Historically, we are one of the it girls in the nation. And so Southern Oregonians are kind of spoiled. We have these moments in time where the world turns to us and says, I want you, and then the prices go up. And so as property owners, we get used to that. We have that expectation that that's what it's going to be like this time. It's not. And it hasn't been for 2 or 3 years. So sellers, be realistic. Look around at your market and look around at what the prices are closing at, not what they're listing at, what they're closing at. Okay. And if you want to talk in more detail, please give me a call, give me a text. My number is 541-301-7980. That's 541-301-7980. Even though we're going into a flat market or slightly, that slow and low growth that I keep talking about, it's still a great time to buy and sell, especially in Southern Oregon. We are a great community. We have a lot to offer, and even people from outside our area want to be here. So give me a call, give me a text. And if you want to talk about investment properties, let's do that. Let's do that. It's a good time to get a bigger portfolio if you're already a landlord. Get your first rental property if you just want to dip your toe in. And Home Nest Property Management can help you out if you would like. So give me a call, give me a text. I want to be your agent. Have a great Southern Oregon weekend and hug those you love. Bye now.